Welcome back to Health Matters, brought to you by Cipla. I'm your host, Ryan O'Connor. Now, in today's world, the greatest currency isn't wealth or success, it's peace. True well-being comes from balancing physical health, mental clarity, and emotional resilience. Even small changes can make a huge impact. Join us as we share simple, practical steps to help you take this necessary charge of your health, body, mind, and soul. From optimizing doctor visits to managing stress, we bring expert insights every day into your wellness to help empower you. Because every step is a step towards well-being, and well-being matters. So let's begin. Today, we're joined by Kanchana Moodliar, and it's so lovely to have Kanchana with us today because her journey, if you look at it, into well-being began after a near-fatal car accident left her bedridden. Determined to heal, she returned to meditation, yoga, holistic practices, becoming a wellness expert, yoga teacher, and Sunday Times columnist. She also co-authored You Can Be Sugar-Free, Indians versus Diabetes, which sold over 5,000 copies. For a decade, Kanchana pursued a career in global brand strategy, co-founding Beauty Revolutions, SA's largest inclusive beauty festival. Of course, this earning her recognition as a Mail and Guardian Top 200 Young South African for her work in civil society. Kanchana, it's lovely to have you with us on Health Matters. Thank you for joining us.
So good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Sure. I was reading this and I was reading a little bit about, things like meditation and how important it is to find time. What exactly is, when I hear the word meditation, I think of calm, relax, quiet, focus. Am I touching on the right key points here?
You're definitely on the right track. So I think the best way to explain it, if I had to explain to a little child, is it's almost like going on a mini vacation for the mind. So the mind is constantly busy. It's noisy. It's like a little playground with this nonstop activity coming through to you every single day. So the average human has between 60 and 70 thoughts every single day, of which 95% of those thoughts are similar to the ones yesterday. And most of them are negative because the human mind has a negative bias towards it. And what happens is you also realize that you have the subconscious programming where the same thoughts that keep coming up are based on things that happened to you when you were younger, or, something that was very traumatic that had happened to you. So what meditation does is it gives you a process to start understanding yourself. And it allows you to become familiar with your thoughts. I mean, think about it. How many of us actually sit in silence and listen to what's going on inside there? Right? We're always distracting ourselves. We're always trying to do something. We're always trying to play on our phone. So meditation is something where you sit quietly by yourself and you enjoy the time. So the Buddha said it best. Somebody asked him, so what did you get from meditation? And he said, well, I can't really tell you what I got, but I know that I lost anxiety, depression, judgment, self-consciousness, and the fear of death and old age. So at its core, it helps us to not attach ourselves to these thoughts and to see our stories for what they are. And I think the best way is a little time for yourself every single day in an oasis of yourself.
Sure. Is there any tie-in with meditation and religion?
So, I always say this because the wise already knew stuff that now we need science to prove, right? So the ancient religions, the Buddhists, the Christian religions, the Islamic religions, the Judaism, every single religion had a level of silence in it, quiet prayer, contemplation, reflection exercise, meditation. Yes, it comes from there. And now we know that meditation is not pseudoscience. It is science. It is confirmed to be able to help you with stress relief, anxiety, mental clarity, and all the different things that people are using for peak performance today. So while we say things might have started from a religious perspective, it's definitely not that anymore today in the way that we practice it, in the way that it's taught, and the way that people are using it in their daily lives. So as I said, the wise already knew this. We now need science to say, hey, guys, this is the way.
I love this dispelling of myths around meditation. And one is that the meditation leads to you being more passive, kind of detached rather than active and engaged in the world. And which I think is, help us with some clarity on that.
So I think I went to this Vipassana course, which is 10-day silence, no talking, no reading, no writing, no exercising. You just sit 12 hours meditating every single day. And I had the exact same question. So I went to the teacher and I said, am I just going to be like so calm that I won't be able to engage in life? Because, 10 days away from life, you're not engaging. And he said, listen, you're not going to become a vegetable. I said, okay. And he said, the reason for that is because meditation helps you become so present that you engage with the world even more. And in that presence and in that calm, you become more and more energetic. And you become more energetic because your energy is not dispelled in 15 different places. You're in that present moment for the time that you're there, which means all your energy is concentrated on one space. So you're more engaged than you ever were. This also leads to more productivity. And more productivity means higher energy, higher clarity. And it means that you will be fully engaged in that moment without becoming passive, right? And I think what happens is we tend to see these Shaolin monks, walking around, their cool demeanor, their beautiful outfits, and they're all in white. But let me tell you, when they punch you, you'll feel it. So it's definitely when you need to engage, you are fully engaged. And that's the difference. I think where it becomes passive is when people disengage from the world and they go, okay, I'm over this. I'm just going to go live in the mountains and I'm going to change, the way I interact with the world. But if anything, meditation gives you more energy and more engagement rather than takes you back to where you think, oh, okay, I'm not going to be engaged in the world. I'm not going to be somebody who achieves a lot because now I've got this calm demeanor about myself. In the calm, you actually make more conscious decisions. You make more aware decisions, and you come from a place of total clarity. That doesn't make you less engaged. That actually makes you more engaged.
Okay. Now, Kanchana, now you've got to help me with this one, okay? Because this one is for me what I battle with. If meditation brings peace, why do long-term meditators still battle so much with stress and anxiety?
It's like saying, once I eat my first great meal and I exercise for the day and I sleep for 8 hours, I'm going to be fantastic. And I will never need to exercise and sleep for 8 hours ever again in my life because I did it on one day, right? So the whole thing about meditation, like your toolbox in health and well-being, is you need to use it as a holistic practice. You've got exercise, you've got your meditation, you're learning about biohacking today, right? Sleep here, do this with the grounding, breathe this, we know all of this. But fundamentally, meditation is in your toolbox to help you to get to a place of less stress, more calm, less anxiety, and understand that the world can look very different if your mind is more settled. So it's one tool in the box of well-being that you have. So I think the power in meditation is cultivating peace within yourself every single day. Now, if you overcome yourself every single morning, who is going to take you off that space that you've created for yourself? We are the worst people to ourselves.
Yeah.
We berate ourselves, we judge ourselves, we're constantly angry at ourselves. So every morning, if you meditate and you get over yourself in the morning, who is going to come in your way and go, hey, Ryan, you did this? You'd be like, hey, dude, I did that to myself already this morning. So the idea of being in struggle and in stress will hit you every single day of your life, no matter what. This is a tool to help you deal with it in a way that is non-reactive, that is calm, that helps you to act from a place instead of escalating a matter of, say, an angry interaction. You can de-escalate a matter because you have the presence of a pause, right?
Yeah.
And the presence of a pause basically is there for you to say, how can I now bring myself into this moment and deal with this from a place of peace and love and compassion, rather than from a place of anger where I now escalate and make it even worse and take it even further, and then say things that you definitely do not want to be saying. And then you've got a whole other kettle of fish to deal with in that case. Yeah, totally. So, it's every single day. My boyfriend, he says it really well. He says every day, you're going to have everything come at you. I'm explaining it in very nice language here. Yeah. And, and he says, all you got now is a way to deal with it a little bit better than you used to.
I love that.
That's all.
I absolutely love it. Kanchana, there's no more convincing me. I want to meditate. Let's take me through it now. How do I start meditating? Give me some, I'm listening to this. I've decided that I need this in my holistic approach to how I'm living my life. Where and what are some practical ways that I can get started?
So Ryan, I think the best way to start is do it, right? So let's do it, because I think that's going to be the best. So I'm going to explain something to you as I take you through it. As we go through this particular exercise, what's going to happen? You're going to go through something and thoughts are going to come up in your mind, right? And I'm going to prove to you how you have the same repetitive thoughts 60 to 70,000 times a day, okay? So as we're going through this exercise, you're going to have a thought. It'll come up. It's wife or family, okay? Then you'll have another thought, or it's work, or it's money, or it's whatever. And I want you to start almost categorizing the thought. So say you have a thought about, I don't know if you have kids, but say you have kids and you have a thought about kids. So it's family, right? So you've got a big bucket of family. But then the next thought that comes up is about your wife. Is that still family?
Yeah.
Right? So you put that in family as still family. Next one, you talk about maybe your career. So you go career and then, I had this conversation with this coworker, da-da-da. Oh, was that still at my career? Okay, so you put it in there. And what's going to happen is these bubbles you're going to find, you probably only have 4 or 5 of them, and all the stories you tell yourself are going to keep going into one of these bubbles that you create. And eventually what meditation does is it just disperses those bubbles.
Wow. That is incredible.
So that's the fundamentals of what we're going to learn now, right? So why don't we just practice for two minutes?
I love it. Let's do it.
Is that good? Okay, cool.
I love it.
So let's just come into this moment. We're going to take a deep, deep breath into the nose, all the way into the chest and into the belly. And then you can exhale through the mouth, like sighing it all out. You're going to take a deep breath through the nose. Deep, deep breath, filling up the lungs all the way to the belly. And when you exhale, sigh it out through the mouth. Take a deep, slow inhale. And completely exhale through the mouth. Now I just want you to focus on inhaling and exhaling just through the nose. And with every breath that you take in, make it deeper and slower. And with each deep, slow breath, you just find yourself relaxing a little bit more. Slow, steady inhale through the nose. Slow, steady exhale through the nose. Now I want you to concentrate on that part just at the tip of the nostrils where the air is going in and out. Feeling the air touching the lip, the upper lip, as it goes in over the lip. And as you exhale, just feeling the air heated on the nostrils and on the upper lip again. I want you to just concentrate, bring all your energy, all your focus just onto that point where the nostrils and the lip meets. And I want you to just focus on that point. Completely vigilant now. No other thoughts, just concentrating fully, steadily. I'm just going to leave you for a minute to do this. Now take a huge deep breath in all the way to the belly and exhale through the mouth. You can open the eyes. Ryan, what did you feel?
Oh, such a sense of calm, such a sense of, it's not even about being tired, because you almost feel rejuvenated by being in that space and in that moment. And those 2 minutes felt really like they were
long.
Like they were long, but it was at the same time, it's a good space, That was really good. And it's amazing.
So did you see the thoughts? Did you see the thoughts?
That popped in and being able to just sort them out into a space and then bringing it all back again, and being able to just refocus, almost recenter the thoughts and not have that clutter that I would normally have in any kind of a moment where I'm actually in a space of just sorting and decluttering. And that was fantastic.
Yeah. So, in meditation, I mean, I do 45 minutes to an hour every morning. You also lose something called space and time, right? So in that space and that time, you actually went into another realm, really. And the realm is inside yourself. You have so much power within yourself, right? So we forget that the most powerful thing that we have is what's inside. And we always want to go to what's outside, and that's the fundamentals of what meditation allows you to feel. It's not out there, it's inside here. And when you get to that space, I mean, I'm sure you felt like your heart rate went down.
Everything.
You're suddenly, even our conversation has come down. Yeah.
Great sense of control over thought. And I think that is sometimes something we lose sight of by every single day of our lives. And I can see how having this as a central starting point or ending point or middle point of a day just is such a great opportunity for us to recenter, grab control of, and at the same time open our eyes to, which I think is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I think people don't realize that this is the superpower. The silence is actually a superpower that we all have, right? Because we all are constantly distracted by our phones. Now, what we also know, and we've learned in the last Microsoft study, is that in the year 2000 to the year 2022, which was like just a couple of years ago, the attention span of humans has reduced all the way from 12 seconds, all correlated to the number of social media devices and different platforms that have come out, to 5 seconds now. And goldfish have a 9-second attention span. So our lack of focus is actually taking away from us to concentrate on anything that we're doing, whether it's reading a book, project managing a task, giving us anxiety because we're overwhelmed all the time. And meditation is a practice that helps you with that specifically. Focus.
I absolutely love this podcast with you. And I'll tell you why, because it's one you can keep coming back to. You can keep listening through. And if you haven't enjoyed this as much as I have, you're probably in a really great space at the moment. And you're actually thinking to yourself, everyone needs to listen, like, and subscribe and be a part of this journey that is helping others. Kanchana Moodliar, thank you so much. I look forward to having you back on the series of podcasts about
such a pleasure.
And engaging in that space. And it was really such an engaging time spent with you on this podcast today.
Thank you for having me. I hope you enjoyed it.
Like, subscribe, go and have a look at these episodes. Importantly, share this as we take you on a journey that is Health Matters, proudly brought to you by Cipla.